Greetings, YouTube neighbors. So I finally got my combo bucket and my tiller for the back of this thing. So we're gonna quickly go over mainly the bucket today. I'll do a video on the tiller at another time. So this is a 60-inch combo bucket. They call it a 4-in-1. It's kind of a pseudo grapple, plus it does good at doing a dozer blade type of job. Like if you're gonna push up against a dirt pile or push up against something that really works good. You notice right away here there's teeth on both the inside of the bucket and the actual dozer blade part of it. The neat part of how the hydraulics are situated is they're actually completely behind the bucket, and the pin here is just level with the bottom of the bucket, so it does give you a good idea if how far you're digging into the ground, basically with how that level is. The nice part too is because the cylinder is completely behind it, you're less likely to get the hydraulic lines or damage the rams in any way. And the movement's very simple. It's just an open and collapse right here. They go straight vertical, and that's what swings this open and closes it. It does swing very much way more open than it is right now. I just did it this way just for a quick demonstration. Then here's the actual hydraulic lines in the back. They're actually piped through the implement underneath the actual quick hitch guard, which is nice. And then it's almost tight, but it's not really an issue of the hydraulic lines behind this. They swoop around, and then boom, there's the connections. And I can already see I got a few sticks because I've been doing a little bit of product testing before I did a video. Altogether, it weighs about 300 pounds. And yeah, that's kind of the quick demo. So now I'm gonna actually go drive around with it. I got a little pile of dirt I'm gonna move, and then I got some sticks and stuff I'm just gonna pick up with it. So, all right, keep watching. All right, now we're in the tractor. So the fun thing about Kubota is they got this little on-off button that turns on your third function. So I'm gonna flip it off, press the buttons. Notice it doesn't do anything. Press the button, flip it on, press the buttons, and there we go. So it's a true third function, not a diverter valve. You can do both things at the same time. It'll open and knuckle all together. It just, oops, doesn't work as good when you're doing it. You actually lose a little bit of pressure because you don't have enough flow. So far, my favorite way to run into a pile is kind of like this. So I'm in medium gear right now, and I'm kind of driving into just a little dirt clump. It's not too big. Just trying to do a little bit of trail maintenance. So I had this kind of old pile of dirt there. You see I did a pretty good job doing it that way. Normally with a little tractor like this, it's hard to get a full bucket load because you just don't have a lot of push. Now granted, I do think the R14s help a lot for push. I was actually in medium range doing that, not in four-wheel drive. And you notice it really wasn't that hard because the bucket pinching the dirt is kind of an easier way to grab it. And then yeah, away we go. I don't notice any lift capacity problems with it. It seems to handle it very well for the size. You know, 60-inch, I probably could have gone just a little bit bigger, but you definitely want to keep the implement you buy at lower weights. You know, don't eat up more than 1/3 of your loader's capacity, because then you're just not going to be able to do much with it. Another thing, like doing little loader work like this, I do notice having the tiller on back and the mower deck beneath me does help with kind of the bounciness in the ride. The lift feels a little bit more smooth. You never feel the back end lift up on you. I haven't picked the tires up or anything, you know, dangerous like that, but it's kind of nice just to keep the weight up there. And there's a little bit of grade here that's hard to see, and then this is the low spot I'm doing. So another nice thing about the combo bucket, you get where you want it, boom, you can just dump it off, there you go. So one thing with having the hydraulic ramps and the hydraulics in the back of it, you really don't want to back drag the same way. You kind of use the edge of the loader when it's extended, instead of actually doing true back drag. So, still learning how to do this one-handed. Doing any grapple work one-handed is not the preferred way to do it. I roughly dropped it right where I wanted to, and I got a little bit of leveling work to do, but I'm still getting better at that. So that was a little bit of dirt work. I think it went really well. I really like it for that type of use. I think for little tractors, combo buckets like this are actually really underrated because you lack push power with them. And with the hydrostatic transmission, your transmission often will quit before the engine runs out of push. So another just kind of funny thing is leaving the door open there, or the bottom of the loader, you have this extra visibility. It's a little closer to you, which is kind of more convenient to use because a lot of times you don't need visibility further out. You need it closer up, and so this works very well for that. So definitely something I like. I don't really have any plans for improvement. I would like to weld on some hooks just for chains, mainly doing deer hunting, cleaning deer. It's actually the easiest to use the loader to clean a deer. Easier to pick them up that way, and using the chain links is actually the easiest way to do it. So here, we're actually at the edge of my game plot, which I will be doing the tilling work here, I guess in the spring. Kind of sneaking my way in here is going to be challenging because corn is right behind me, so I'm going to try to just grab a tiny bit here. Sorry for the bad camera work. Yeah, I didn't do a good job. Okay, so I'm going to try this a little differently. The little bit I did grab, I'm going to drop off. I'm going to try again. Yeah, you can see like you really get a lot of opening with this thing, which is nice for like the random size sticks that are kind of pointing every direction. You have more of a chance to catch what you're looking for. And then you can kind of angle it to help get a better grab. And actually, I got a little bit of dirt here more than I intended. And look at that. You know, it's not like it's the world's most beautiful grapple. There are times a different grapple would be more efficient. One of the nice things about this setup is your grappling is right on the ground. So if you don't want to leave something on the ground, it's going to do a good job, you know. And you don't need a big grapple when you're doing just kind of property cleanup. It's actually nicer to have a small grapple that you can fit into a more narrow space. Because obviously, you know, my load here is probably 10 feet long, you know, from side to side, but it does just fine picking that up because those pinch points work so good. Then I can go throw this in a pile. Eventually I'm getting borrowing from a buddy a wood chipper. So I got a wood chipping day I'm going to do, and I'll probably do a small video on that as well. Wood chipper is just kind of one of those things, like it doesn't get used a lot, but when it gets used a lot. So yeah, I'm really liking the combo bucket. I think it was a really good implement for a machine this size, and I have started to use it to kind of go pick up some of the split firewood. It will be quite a bit different when I get into the bigger wood and move them around, because you'll notice here I got, you know, pretty good sized 8-foot pieces here, 10-foot, they're not exact. So I'll have to chop these up pretty small to make them work with this grapple setup. But all the smaller stuff, it really works great. You can see the little brush pile here that I've got going, and it's mostly been built for this thing. It's working great. I really like it. It's easier to use. Having that hydrostatic transmission is really awesome. It kind of frees up a hand to do whatever you want. And having the tiller on the back allows you to feel a little bit more confident when you turn with the loader up. You're not going to put yourself off balance. That is one thing I'm always kind of worried about. But yeah, if you got any other questions about it, let me know. I really do like this thing. I like Kubota's third function. Works great. Yeah. All right. Until next time.